Welcome back to Marvel Avengers Alliance here on G4G. You know who I am, so we're going to get right into it. And I'm going to call this video, The Maggia Fist is Overpowered. I was not expecting to deal with this content. Mostly because it was a surprise. I was thinking of doing some videos on Marvel Avengers Alliance 2. More on that at the end of the video. The Hair Trigger ISO and Sandy ISO. And also Elsa at 15. I had plans for those. Along with some other games, more Ghost in the Shell and more Heroes of the Storm. But I said, okay, I'm nearing what I need for my hammer pistol. I got 6 more to get. I got the 1K bucket of ISOs. So let me go ahead and farm Mission 3 over here for weapon parts. I got one on the spinner today. That made me pretty happy. So I said, alright, going to resume my farming. Didn't really blow much of my energy yesterday other than the daily mission. So I started playing, and one of my Marvel friends, Roulette, had said, hey, what do you think of the Maggia Set? Kingfisher seems to be pretty happy about it. Do you think he's overly excited, or do you like the set? What's going on? So I said, well, I haven't used it that much, and I don't have the hammer pistol yet, so that's why. So I watched this video, and he seems pretty happy with it in PvP. So I said, let me try it in PvE with what I've got, which is basically everything but the hammer pistol. Now, we know that the Maggia's Captain Fist likes to exploit attrition. And to me, what's more of an interesting way than getting attrition out on people than using the Cosmic Flame to cheese things a little bit? The Cosmic Flame is a quick action buff device that says somebody's next attack applies Soul Fire. So one of the things that I always like to do on this was apply it via AoE. Use it on, like, say Fandral. Use it on Fandral. Fandral comes in with the chandelier. He drops 3 stacks of bleeds, stealthy, and he puts Soul Fire out, which, as we know, removes buffs. It doesn't keep buffs away like Nanoplague, but it removes what you got. Will it remove a Mystic or a Lantern of Doom? I'm not exactly too sure. I haven't experimented with that in a while, but it removes everything else. So I said, alright, I'm going to really cheese the attrition here. I'm going to apply the Cosmic Flame to myself, and then I will open up with the Made Man. So I'm putting out Bleeding, ISO Corruption, Burning, and Soulfire. Well, Soulfire actually takes the place of Burning. They cannot exist on the same mob, and as soon as I get control of a character, I'll show you. Since it is an upgraded version of it, it completely replaces it, and it doesn't allow the lower one to exist. So Death Frost doesn't allow Chill to exist. Soulfire doesn't allow Burning to exist. The flip side is the cold ones could exist with the hot ones if they're at the higher rank. So you could have Soulfire and Chilled out on somebody. So you could Cosmic Flame the Freezy Bleeds of the Weather Control device, the Hailstorm, and you can put them both out. So now you have double the attrition there. Why I'm doing this video is I punched a Scrapper Maggia Hitman as my bruiser agent for 81k. 81,000 damage. I was sitting here, I just gotten out of a shower, and I was like, alright, I gotta cycle my jet people, and let me start the mission going over here. So I've got my towel over my head and everything like that, and I just went, oh god! Like, I just saw that punch, I was like, my agent just crit somebody for 81 fucking K. Holy shit. So I'm going to try to replicate the setup, which I haven't got numbers that high yet, but Jessica Jones had hit that Scrapper with the Bus Stop Battle Axe. He had not hit the Hitman. I had hit somebody else with it. So I gained an extra turn from Big and Fast because I had protected, but that really doesn't make a difference. So now it's a new round. I used the Maggia targeting device, And then I went ahead and used the fist. Let's see if we get damage like that again. Not quite. I mean, not nearly as big, but I think potentially the person might have had 3 stacks of bleeds from Jessica, but it was... I was amazed. I wish I could have gotten a screenshot of it, but I couldn't because I wasn't expecting it. And, you know, in my older age, my reflexes aren't quite as fast, but I just was like, are you kidding? Did I just do that in basically the beginning? I don't even know. No, it wasn't the first round anymore. It was the top of the second round. And I don't know what the PvP applications of that will be, if we will be able to see numbers like that in PvP, but the thought of putting out from the agent, I mean, there are heroes that do it. With Molly, I've punched somebody out in 6 digits in PvP. And I'm not even talking about, you know, the first few days of PvP when, you know, you are destined for adamantium and you're fighting like some scrubby little gold team. I'm talking about deep in the season, somebody as equal to me as anything, and I just blasted the hell out of that guy. Maybe the bodyguard shot me and I protected, so I had double stacks of enrage, but I haven't been able to get that high of a number yet, but it's been close, and we might not do it now because that scrapper is dead. We'll see if we can do it on somebody else over here. I mean, the numbers were just crazy. So this guy has Iso Corruption, Soulfire, 1 stack of Bleed. Let's try this guy, because he's got wide open combo set up, targeted. Let's see what happens here. This could be something really, really big here. Wow, 30k. I mean, even 30k in today's PvP numbers will... There isn't anything right now that can stop that. So I think what the PvP implications of this are is that somebody like all of the blaster casters, like Mordo, Strange, Voodoo, all of those guys. Cool. We're going to get... See, here's something that not a lot of people realize about the game. Now, I've discussed this on my stream a few times. Everybody has that epiphany moment at some point in Marvel Avengers Alliance. They're like, the roulette is rigged. Yes, it is. And I discovered this a few years ago, too. Posted on the wiki. We talked about it. And I'm like, yeah, welcome to the club. The moment this screen comes up here with the chest and the open button, your reward is already determined. Going through the roulette means nothing. It doesn't matter what you click. It doesn't matter what you spin. Right now, the AI on the server has determined what your reward is. I will bet all of my YouTube watchers of this video that I am going to get a weapon part. I will bet you all $1 million. I will bet you my cat right here, my 2015 Camaro, anything, that I'm going to get a disassembled weapon part. The reason why I know that is because very briefly it said progress next to the hammer pistol. So it doesn't matter if I click that, if I click this, if I click that one, I click the middle one, if I spaz out and have a seizure and click them all. That was going to be my reward no matter what. And that is because the game actually predetermines it once you get the chest screen. The roulette is simply a fun little graphic to make you just enjoy it more, give it a kind of a Vegas slots thing to it. And you might think, hey, well, that's kind of pretty cheesy, isn't it? If you think about it, no, not really. If you're playing an RPG, say you're playing Final Fantasy VII, and you've killed a creature. That creature has a loot table. It drops whatever it is. You don't see a slot screen when you've killed that creature. You don't see... And all of a sudden you're like, okay, you get Phoenix down. It just drops it. Well, just to kind of make this game a little bit more entertaining, they give you that Vegas roulette kind of a screen, but, you know, honestly, the thing just drops. They just make it more visually appealing. So, that is the deal there. But, yeah, the potential PvP applications of this, all of the blaster magic casters would be good with it. Heavy bleeders, like Fandral with 3 stacks of bleeds, Airy, Sabretooth, all of those kinds of guys, they will be a real good setup. And I think absolutely the best setup on the table right now is Enchantress. If you run like Pesty and Enchantress with the fist, a properly upgraded fist, the morale boost and everything like that, I think you have the potential to one-shot somebody in the second round. Well, it's not really a one-shot at that point, but basically just erase them from the universe. And that's unusual for those kinds of teams because those kinds of teams typically go on dots and attrition. They're a long game, not a short game. But with this fist, you might bring it into a short game. Especially if you get big and fast proc on Bruiser Agent. You make things a lot quicker. So, let's go ahead and see what we can do with this fist shot here. 20k. Still pretty solid, but not as big as the 81k, which I don't know why I haven't been able to duplicate numbers that high yet. So, Marvel Avengers Alliance 2 that we talked about at the beginning of the video. As you know, they've said that it's coming, and it's coming on mobile platforms. We assume iOS and Android. I wouldn't assume Windows Phone. Do we know if they will have platform sharing or platform agnostic? In other words, can you put it on an iOS device? Can you put it on an Android device and get access to your same agent and everything, like you can in Future Fight, like you can in Contest of Champions and whatnot? That remains to be seen, but I can tell you it has a Facebook login. How do I know that? Because I'm running it. So they kind of like Price is Right fail sounded you on this when they're like, it's coming, it's out in beta for Australia only. Well, at least with the Android version, all you need to do is get the APK, which is the Android package file for it. Once you get the APK, and I'll be doing a video on that specifically, you can just drop it down to your device, turn on install from sources other than the Google Play Store, and install it and start playing. I've already played about 3 minutes of it. But when you first get in the game, it says, hey, do you want to log into Facebook? It'll save your progress and everything like that. So you put in your Facebook credentials, and it says, okay, you've logged in. It didn't seem to give me a reward or like, hey, thanks for logging into Facebook. Here's ISO crystals or something. It went and just did it. So I'll have to install it on another tablet and see what happens. So let's see what we do to this bodyguard over here. So my agent right now has morale boost. He has 2 stacks of enrage. The bodyguard has Soulfire, Bleeding, ISO Corruption, and Pinpoint Target. Again, kind of weak, but still really, really solid. And you can see I just punched that dude out thanks to Big and Fast. So, yeah, the Maggia Fist, pretty OP over there. And I definitely think people should research and get the upgraded version of it and run at least another piece. Honestly, the gun and the fist are all you need to run a really, really good setup with like Pesty and Enchantress, or Enchantress, Kurth, the Scroll of Runemeroth to seal in those debuffs. And I think you're looking at a pretty good setup here. And it's not often the agent becomes your big hitter in PvP. It's usually your, your Havocs, your Iron Fist, your Mockingbird, your Molly, all of that kind of stuff. Now your agent really has a good shot at it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned to more content on the channel. We're going to cover the grid ISO, the the hair trigger ISO, Marvel Avengers Alliance 2, if it works, and Handy Andy. And also going to be checking out some more stuff with Ghost in the Shell Online, the first-person shooter that's available on Steam, and we'll talk about more stuff in HOTS, Lunara, and just how absolutely bad she is right now. So, take care, everybody. Have a good one.